Hi, welcome back to another Terranscapes rapid fire critique. I'm going to jump right in because I'm having trouble today being brief. So Dwayne has submitted this collection. He has included some work in progress photos. So let's take a look at these. Why is my computer so slow? Okay, so he's making a dark tower that's rising out of rock. There's the form for it. Okay. Oh, cute snake. We'll come back to that. Aha. He mentioned lily pads in his description. Okay, so let's go back. First, just to walk through the work in process, which I think is interesting. So here he's created a foam, substrate for the actual rock section, and then here he is showing application to it. Little unclear what you're doing. Lightweight spackle, maybe, or plaster, maybe, that before it sets, when it would run, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. But the inclusion of the natural sponge to stipple on texture is a nice tip, right? You could use something like this to create, this sort of irregular, very realistic, I think, looking rock surface by doing a little stippling with a coarse sponge. So cool to have included that. That's a nice tip for everybody. And then we see the project underway here, and he's created, looks like he's sliced foam to make, we can almost see the putty, some kind of filler putty, I guess, maybe. And then he's created this foam form for the building itself, and then this is the finished look for it, which is quite nice. This is a wonderful little, a centerpiece for a table or a display for a couple of specific models or something. That's wonderful. I really like that. I would like a bigger photo of it because this feels small. Why is this small? But we will work with it. It's not so small I can't see, though. I would like it a little bigger, though. Nice job painting the rocks. I think they have a very natural feel, and it's nice to have the sort of growth and lichen and algae and whatever kind of creeping up it from the damp depths below. And I'm going to assume that the snake is included because you hand sculpted it and painted it. And wow, it's just a great little effective tiny little element. It adds something. It's one of those kinds of things that brings your eye into the piece and says, look for the small details, they're there. And, a very simple sculpt. This is very approachable by anybody out there who's got a little green stuff on their hands, and just gives you a little idea of how a simple element can be very interesting in an overall piece. And here we have another angle to the tower. I see this is the side. I think if I were to add any thoughts on it here quickly, I don't know, something is wrong here. I think because there's a lot of algae up here, maybe from rainwater dripping down, I don't know. This feels wrong, and I'm not quite sure why. Maybe because it's a big unified patch that stops, and if you had smaller, thinner areas to kind of feather it onto the piece, I think it would feel more natural. That's the first thing that jumps out at me. And here in the water, that's a very interesting water effect. Kathy Millett, who has another channel, was working on creating some algae effects in water, and they look a little bit like this, so it's worth checking out her channel to see what she's done. Now, he was mentioning that the lilies he thought were a little too bright green, and oh, I'd love to see a bigger picture of them. It looks like maybe these are paper that have been hole punched and then cut a little slot into them. That is a way I have made lilies in the past on a pond I did quite a while ago. And then what's nice here is he has maybe airbrushed the sheet of paper before punching to give that a little gradation. So I would agree he was concerned that the lilies are too bright, and I think he's right. Maybe just a hair, a shade darker in the green would make it a little more muted and fit that into the overall sort of very somber color scheme he has going on here. And a nice another close-up look of the rocks once they were finished, and I think that's very effective. I like it. And you have these ribs that are coated, and it feels fine because it feels like there are fissures in the rock rather than, this is just a rib, a fin sticking out. So I think that's a really nice job, and that's helped by a little crack like this, and that sort of breaks up this, large fin structure, which we know is a fin because we saw the behind the scenes. So I think that I like that rock. I like it. Overall, it's nice. It's nice and an effective and interesting way to create that effect. Can I just say, I know I'm over, something about here, it's different. No, it's here too. I don't know what you've got going on here, but I like it. This feels like a naturally fractured face of a rock, and I think I like it more than the rough texture. Some of this feels maybe a little forced, and so I don't know how you did that, but adding more of that I think would add interest. Now the trick is that it's going to conflict with maybe the geology of the surrounding rocks, but that's not necessarily a problem. Sometimes rocks get all jumbled up. So I don't know what you did there, but I like it. I see it's got it looks like it's like stratified layers maybe, and that could be the result of foam. I don't know. Anyway, thoughts on that piece. So thank you for submitting that, and hopefully you found something of note here that was helpful to you, maybe entertaining, maybe inspiring, because I think this is a really nice piece to be inspired by. So just before I go, I wanted to update this outro since I shot this video a little while ago, and just say, of course, thank you so much for joining me. It always makes a huge difference for me and my channel, so I appreciate it. And questions and comments are always welcome down below. And stay tuned because I'm in the midst of an October experiment. Project or products on Tuesdays, rapid fire Fridays, and a Patreon mini vid for my patrons on Wednesdays. And if you want to help me on my quest for a pressure casting pot, you can go to Patreon. I think I'm getting better at this. And you can make a small monthly pledge. I'm having trouble with that word. Pledge there to help me along with that goal, and also to access all of the other Patreon content that is there. There's a bunch of stuff, and I'm always adding stuff all the time. So hopefully you will be back in 3 days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 days. Because I will be back soon with another Terranscapes video.